in the previous class we started with our gamma distribution, right? So let me just revise you with the PDF and mean and variance of the gamma distribution. I gave you all homework of deriving the variance of gamma distribution through integration. Did you guys do it? Did you guys calculate the variance of gamma distribution through integration? So basically my PDF, which is my fx, was given out to be as e to the power minus lambda x into x to the power alpha minus 1 into lambda by alpha, and I have my gamma of this. Is this clear? I also taught you 3 more things, that if I take something in the gamma, it basically becomes minus 1 factorial, okay, and my gamma of 1 is basically 0 factorial, which is 1 only, and my gamma of half is a special case where I will get square root of pi. These 3 things were clear. My expectation of x in this is alpha by lambda, and my variance of x, which is my sigma square, in this is alpha by lambda square. Okay. If this is okay, give me a yes in the chat room. We will do a quick question on this. We will do a quick question on this. Give me a yes in this chat room. If any doubt, tell me that as well. Okay. Now 2 more things you have to keep in mind is that whenever I tends my x to infinity, my e infinity basically becomes infinity, okay, and whenever I tends my x to infinity, my e raised to the power minus x becomes 0, okay. So this is something you need to keep in mind. Now write down a question. Your x follows gamma 2 comma 1.5. I told you I write gamma, alpha comma lambda. The order cannot change. So my alpha here becomes 2 and my lambda becomes 1.5. So while putting in the PDF and variance or expectation, you use these 2 values, okay, and you have to calculate probability x is greater than 4. So if I keep it in integration, my ranges are anything above 4. So 4 to infinity, because I do not have any limit on gamma functions x. So 4 to infinity. My PDF I will use here, and I will integrate it with respect to fx. Give me the values using the by parts. So basically my equation becomes 4 to infinity, and it becomes, what is the by part formula? So we put lambda as 1.5, we put alpha as 2, okay. So putting these, I get e to the power minus lambda, so 1.5x lambda to the power alpha. So basically 1.5 raised to the power alpha into, what is the next term? This is x raised to the power alpha minus 1, so x raised to the power 2 minus 1. We have dx and we have here alpha gamma, okay. Try integrating this by pi parts. Whatever is the constant, you can take this as constant and you have to apply your by parts in this. So this becomes constant. So use by parts in this and give me the answer. Put in the values of 4 to infinity and then give me the answer, guys. Come on. Waiting for your responses. Fatima, I want the answer from your end as well. If you are stuck at any end, tell me that space that ma'am I am stuck at this, and then we will start discussing from your end, okay. I want you to try beta. Clear? I will be solving it through complete by parts, so don't worry about it, but at least try. You can match your answer with my each and every step, okay. I hope you are trying, right Fatima? Okay, no worries. Look, I basically have to calculate p x raised is greater than 4, right? My gamma distribution was given out to be 2 comma 1.5. So 2 comma 1.5, if I compare it to alpha comma lambda, so this becomes my alpha, this becomes my lambda. So my alpha is 2, my lambda is 1.5. So whenever I am using the PDF, so I will substitute my values of alpha as 2 and my lambda as 1.5. Now what I have to calculate is Px is greater than 4. Now x is greater than 4, it means I have been given the lower limit but my upper limit is undefined, right? I do not have the upper limit, right? So it becomes 4 to infinity. What is my PDF? PDF is e to the power minus lambda x, lambda to the power x, lambda to the power alpha, alpha to the power x to the power alpha minus 1 by gamma alpha, right? So e to the power minus lambda is 1.5, so 1.5x, lambda is 1.5, alpha is 2, x is x, and lambda alpha minus 1, which is 2 minus 1 becomes 1, and this is 2 gamma dx. Clear? Now if I take constants out, because constant do not required within the integral, so I have to use my by parts in this, basically integration by parts in this. Now do integration by parts, treat this as first function, using ILATE treat this as second function. Okay? So try doing it. Now is it clear Fatima? Try giving me the answer. So we will get 2.25 here, 4 to infinity, this. I want you to try Fatima, and then we can discuss where you are getting stuck. We will show the whole integration, okay? But please at least try. So are you trying? Tell me, are you trying? One more minute guys, try solving this. Okay beta. This gamma 2, basically what I told you, when we have gamma something in upon a digit, so it becomes minus 1 factorial. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 factorial is 1 only. So I can write it as 1, or either I do not write 1 at all. So it's same thing. Okay? make equation of this. So 2.25, my first function is this x, so it remains same. My second function I need to integrate, right? And here I would put in the limits. Similarly, minus, I would integrate, differentiate x first and then integrate, and I also put in the limits here. Now try solving this. After integration, this becomes this, and I get minus 1.5 in the denominator. Differentiation of x is basically x. This after integration will become, this will become 1 after integration. Okay. Now try solving it again. I have simplified the things. Now put in the values here, again integrated, taking this as constant out. You can put in the values here. Now you can simplify this and give me the values quickly. I have done most of the integration now, right? Waiting for your answer. Any step not clear in this, Fatima, you can ask me. Okay? Clear. Now put in the values quickly, okay? Here you have to use the thing that if I put in infinity with respect to the power of minus infinity with respect to e, I will get 0 answer, okay? Because here also you need to substitute infinity, here also you need to substitute infinity. What is the answer coming out? If I put in infinity first, so it will become e to the power minus infinity, e to the power minus infinity is my 0, minus 4e 1.5 into 4 minus 1.5, okay, plus 1.5 into minus 1.5, I take it as out. Again I put in infinity, this will become 0, minus I will put in my 4. So what is coming out? 2.25, big bracket, then I have positive e, 1.5 into 4 is 6 basically, right? So e raised to the power minus 6, I have 1.5 down there, it will become minus 1.5 whole square, and minus minus will get add on minus 6. Now can you calculate the answer and tell me? It becomes pretty simple now. Quickly put in the values in the calculator and tell me the answer. What is it coming out, Fatima? Quickly, beta. Now you can simply calculate it using the calculator, right? So give me the answer. So it is coming out 0.0174. Okay. So this was your answer. Now you can see how complicated is it. No, 403. Fatima, first thing first, you are calculating probability x is greater than. So you are calculating a probability. Probability can never be greater than 1. It can never be less than 0. So you need to put in the self checks. Clear? It is -6, not +6. You might have mistaken here. Please check your calculation error. You should be getting 0.0174 or 0.0173512 ... Okay. Check this. How to calculate using calculator. Using calculator. Is it okay? You have to use it using calculator. There might be some calculation error. So try checking where you went wrong using calculator. You will get this only, beta. I have done the same. Okay? Yes, it might be the case. Cool, let's move to next concept. I also told you in the last class that it was so difficult to calculate the gamma distribution probability value this way, because we do not have any table book values, we do not have any function defined for CDF. So we have to do integration every time. That's not that much feasible. So gamma distribution has two special cases. First is your exponential distribution, and second one is your chi-square distribution. Chi-square distribution is basically very much used when you are checking the accuracy of your test, accuracy of your hypothesis, okay? But it is also used to convert your, find the value of gamma distribution more easily, because we have been provided the value of chi-square distribution in our tables book. Fatima, did you get the tables book? Okay. So if I move to exponential distribution, first we will talk about exponential distribution. What is exponential distribution? So exponential distribution is the special case of gamma distribution when my alpha becomes 1. Okay. When my alpha becomes 1 in gamma distribution, I get my exponential distribution. So if what was my formula for PDF of gamma distribution? It was e to the power minus lambda x, lambda to the power alpha, x to the power alpha minus 1 by alpha gamma. So if I take gamma as alpha as 1, I get e to the power minus lambda x, lambda to the power 1, x to the power 1 minus 1, and we have here 1 gamma. So it basically becomes e to the power lambda x, lambda by 1, which is lambda e minus lambda x. Is this clear? So this is my PDF of exponential distribution. So pretty simple to derive the PDF of exponential distribution. So its fx basically becomes lambda e to the power minus lambda x. Now from this PDF, can you simply say we have one parameter only? So I say my x follows exponential distribution with my parameter lambda. Is this okay? So if I talk about mean of exponential distribution, so mean of gamma distribution was lambda by alpha, right, and alpha by lambda, my alpha is 1, so I can say my mean of exponential distribution is 1 by lambda. Similarly, my variance of exponential distribution is 1 by lambda square. So I can say exponential Ex is 1 by alpha. So if I square this, I will get 1 by lambda square. So this is equal to variance of x. It means it is the only distribution where my variance is equal to mean ka square. It is the only distribution where my variance is equal to square of my mean. Clear? So I can say my variance formula is x square minus exponent this. So if my variance itself is this, so this basically becomes my this. Are these relationships clear? Come on, tell me. Again, this is one of the distribution whose PDF, CDF you must memorize wholeheartedly. So how many distribution I have told? Binomial, Poisson, and now you have exponential distribution. Clear? Now let's derive the CDF of this. What is the CDF? Probability x is less than x, right? And in my gamma distribution, my x was from 0 to infinity. So this becomes 0 to x, my fx dx. So 0 to x lambda e minus lambda x dx. Now try integrating this, Fatima, and tell me what is the answer coming out to be. This is simple integration now. Here you require no integration by parts, it is a simple integration. Tell me the values. What is the PDF, CDF coming out to be? Is this coming out to be your CDF? Give me a yes in the chat box if this is coming out to be your CDF. I want you should have calculated, okay? Try at least. Don't just say yes if you have not calculated. Please derive this. Quickly, I am waiting. What I did was, I took out this lambda as constant, okay, I used the formula of integration of my exponential function. So, using the chain rule, my lambda x would again be differentiated. How we got last answer? 1. Look, this is e raised to the power minus 0, e raised to the power 0, is it equal to e raised to the power 0, and anything we have power 0, it becomes 1, x0 becomes 1, right? So, e raised to the power 0 is also becoming 1. . in my limits x and 0, and after putting 0 I get my 1 came out in front and this came out here. Okay, its CDF is equally important as its PDF, that's why I memorized this CDF as well. Clear, Fatima? If this is clear, how can I calculate probability x is greater than or equal to x? Look, this portion shows my probability x is greater than or equal to x, and this portion shows my probability x is less than or equal to x, right? So if I say I add on these two, I should get the total probability, and total probability always equals 1. So I can say this and this is equal to 1 by the law of total probability. So probability x is greater than x becomes 1 minus probability x is less than or equal to x. Clear? And less than or equal to x is basically my CDF. And the CDF I have derived is this only. So 1 minus 1, minus minus becomes plus, 1 minus 1 cancels out, I get my e to the power minus x. So probability x is greater than x gives me this. Is this clear? We did nothing rocket science. If this is clear, we have used the law of total probability basically. This portion covers the value which are less than x, this portion covers the value which are greater than x, and it should sum up to 1 because it is covering entire range. And when I sum the probabilities across the entire range, I get 1 as the answer. So any doubt in this? If not, then we will do the question. Is this clear, Fatima? Rest of the students online, is this clear? Beta, we had one positive 1 and negative 1. 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So either I cancel it out or I take it as 0. It's equal. Basically, I multiplied this minus sign to internal signs. Okay. Shall we move forward? Now write down the question, derive median of exponential distribution. What is the condition for median? What is the median? Mid values basically. The mid value of my distribution is called median. So if I take it as m, so I can say probability x is less than m should be equal to probability x is greater than m should be equal to 0.5. Median says that the percentage of values below that median value and above that median value should be equal, which is 50%, 50%, right? So if I take this as m, it means the values before this, that is below this, should be 50%, and values above this should also be 50%. Is this okay? So either you can use the relation x is less than m is equal to 0.5, or you can use the relation x is greater than m is equal to 0.5. So what was the formula for CDF? If I use this, let's use this approach. Okay, what was the formula we derived for this? E minus lambda x, and this should be equal to minus 0.5. So I need to calculate my x value, right, in terms of lambda only, taking log both sides. So taking log both sides, what I will get? Ln of e raised to the power minus lambda x, ln of 0.5. E raised to the power minus lambda x is basically 0. This will become minus lambda x will become log 0.5. So x will become log 0.5 by minus lambda. Now if I take minus above, so it becomes ln 2 by lambda. So my median of exponential distributions become 1 by lambda log 2, where my log is, this is my natural log, that is base e. Okay. Any doubt in this? Anyone? Is this clear? How did we get this as log 2? This will become ln 0.5 raised to the power minus 1, because what is the log property? If I take minus log x, it becomes whatever is constant here, it becomes the power within the function. Okay. So I have minus 1 here, so it will become minus 1. So 0.5 minus 1, it means it is the reciprocal, and reciprocal of 0.5 is 2 only. So is it clear how to get the median? I have shown the median calculation for one distribution, but that's your duty. You can find the median of rest of the distributions if asked in the question. Okay. Clear? Is this clear? Give me a yes, then we will move forward to one more question. Any doubt you are getting, you can ask me, there is no problem. You are at your initial stages of your preparation, that is completely okay if you are having any doubt. Okay. Write down the question now. Claims to a general insurance company, 24-hour call center, 24-hour call center occur according to a poison process. You don't have to know the details of poison process yet, we will understand this, but you just have to focus on question. With a rate of 3 per hour, calculate the probability that the next call arrives after more than half hour. Okay. Let me repeat the question. Claims to a general insurance company's 24-hour call center occur according to a Poisson process with a rate of 3 per hour. Calculate the probability that the next call arrives after more than half hour. So let me tell you one thing, the relationship between Poisson process and your exponential distribution. So Poisson process, it means my first claim is happening here, my second claim is happening here, my third claim is happening here. So the number of claims happening is modeled by my Poisson distribution, but the time between each claim, which is called inter-event time, is modeled by my exponential distribution. Okay. So you can write x is modeled by my Poisson distribution, which has mean 3. So my t, which is the time between two claims, is basically modeled by exponential distribution with the mean of Poisson distribution. So the mean of Poisson distribution becomes my parameter here. Okay. So you can write under the Poisson process, telling Poisson lambda, then T will follow. T is basically the time between claim X and the next claim. So, T will follow your exponential lambda only. Clear? So, now you have to calculate that the next call arrives in more than half hour. It means the time taken to calculate the next call is more than half hour. So, your T should be less than half. Okay. Now, since your T is following exponential distribution, so you can use the formula of probability x is greater than x. We have derived this as e to the power minus lambda x. So, e to the power minus lambda 1 by 2. Put in the value of lambda, tell me the answer. Fatima, I want answer from your end. What is the value coming out to be of this probability? And please check if this is coming out to be between 0 and 1, because every probability value should have range between 0 and 1. Tell me the answer, beta. Quickly tell me the answer. 0.223. Yes, very good. Okay, so I put in here, so my lambda is 3, it basically becomes e to the power minus 1.5, this is coming out to be 0.223. Clear, Fatima? Any doubt? In this Poisson process, we will go in detail in Poisson process in the later chapter, but you have to go, remember the gist. Exponential distribution is always used to calculate the inter-event time, okay, that is the time between two events, okay. Okay. Shall we move forward to a chi-square distribution? So, second special case of my gamma distribution was chi-square distribution. So, here my alpha becomes nu by 2 and my lambda becomes 1 by 2. There is a newer Is this okay? Let us move to chi-square distribution. So, here I have defined a newer notation, which is this. This is called nu, okay, nu, nu, a little styled v, clear. So, here my alpha becomes nu by 2 and my lambda becomes 1 by 2. So, in this case my x will follow chi-square. Chi-square is defined basically your x where your left hand side is basically a little extended to the downward section, okay. So, there is basically confusion between students while writing in copy. They usually confuse x with chi-square or chi-square with x. So, please write in a format that you can understand, because at the end of the day you have to type it in Word or in the laptop. So, in that case you can use the chi-square symbol, but please be careful while you are doing this in copy or pen paper. Okay, so chi-square with the degrees of freedom nu. This is called my degrees of freedom and this is its parameter. Okay. Are the notation is clear. Since we are moving to a little newer notation, that's why it's okay to take the time. So in my exponential distribution, my alpha was becoming 1 and lambda remained lambda. But in my chi-square distribution, my alpha is equal to nu by 2 and my lambda is equal to 1 by 2. In that case, my x will following chi-square nu. Basically, chi-square is covered in next chapter, for example, chapter 6, but still you can write the expectation of chi-square k. Let us work in nu only if I have described this nu. So, expectation of chi-square is its degree of freedom and expectation of variance of chi-square is basically twice of its degree of freedom. Clear? The PDF of this we won't be studying, but because we have been given the values of chi-square in the tables book. But now how to use these values to calculate my chi-square? Let's first check how to calculate the values using tables book. Is this clear, Fatima? Please give me a yes. Okay. Now open up the tables book if you have with yours. So you can see here we have probabilities for chi-square distribution. So let's understand how to use tables book. I told you in previous class as well, you have to first check what is the value chi-square throwing at, what is the value tables book throwing at you, okay. Is it giving me CDF, is it giving me PDF, is it giving me less than values, is it giving me greater than values. So you can understand it through two ways. First way is from this notation. So this is capital Fx, this means it is giving you CDF. But sometimes it can be confusing as well, so you check your integration limits. If this is 0, if this is x, if this is infinity. If you are integrating from 0 to infinity, it means you are calculating greater than values. If you are integrating from 0 to x, it means you are calculating less than values. So you can see I am integrating from 0 to x, that's why I am calculating less than values. The third way to check is through graph, okay. Now you can see the shaded portion is this. This means here my x values are increasing and here my x values are decreasing. So I am calculating the shaded, my shaded region is decreased portion, that's why I am calculating x is less than x, okay. So it means this page is giving me values of chi-square for less than values, that is probability x is less than equal to x. Clear how to interpret your tables book? For example, if I move to this tables book section, so first check is here we have been given this, so I can't interpret anything from it. So I will go to my limits of integration. Limits of integration are now from x to infinity. It means greater than values. So this tables book is giving me x is greater than x. Otherwise, if I come to this section, so x is, here x is greater than, here x is less than. My shaded region is greater than, that's why I am finding the greater than values. Is it okay? Quickly give me a yes if this interpretation is okay. Come on, tell me. Is it clear how to interpret what values are being given to us in the tables book? You didn't understand for any of the portion, or is it particular? Look, make this timeline, okay, it is 0, it is x, it is my infinity. My range is for example 0 to infinity, okay. So, if I talk about this, here I would get values x minus 1, x minus 2. So, if I am subtracting a positive value from a positive value, then I will get something less than x. So, I can say here I will get only lesser than x values, right. If I talk about this section, I will get x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, dot dot dot. It means if I am adding a positive value to some positive value, I will always get greater than x, okay, right. So, if I make a graph and I say, for example, this is your graph and I say this is your x. So, what is this portion showing you? Everything less than x. So, this is less than x. And what is this portion showing you? This is greater than x. Sorry, I have done wrong notations. This is showing you less than x, this is showing you greater than x. That is why understand through graph, if this is given, that is why you are calculating probability x is less than x, okay. If this is shaded, then you are calculating probability x is greater than x. Otherwise, what you can understand is it is 0 to x. So, if I put in my integration from 0 to x, it means I am summing up the probabilities that are less than x. And if I take my integration limits as x to infinity, it means I am moving from x to something higher, that is x plus 1, x plus 2. So, I am calculating greater than x. Now clear? So, basically I get, look, this is the shaded portion. So, this is, I said, this is my x value. So, I will increase. So, this is my probability x is greater than x. And if I move downwards, for example, in this case my shaded portion was less than x. So, it was less than equals to x. No, shaded, here also we have shaded, there also we have shaded. It matters what exactly is shaded in the graph. Otherwise, you can understand through limits as well, okay. If the shaded portion is not given, then you can understand through limits as well. Here we have limit 0 to x. So, 0 to x portion, it means something less than x, right. Between 0 to x, you will have x minus 1, x minus 2, which will be less than x. So, that is why you are calculating less than x values, okay. Here you can see the shaded portion also there, but it is shaded for values which are less than x, okay. Good. Now, if I ask you to calculate probability chi square 2 is less than 1. So, first I have to check in the values of less than x. So, this is less than x. Now, I have to check in the, this is my new basically. So, these are the values of my new, you can see this is new, okay. So, I have to check the values for 2. So, I will look into this section. For which value I have to look? 1. So, I will check 1. So, this is my 1. So, my probability value will become 0.3935. Now, here is your table book. Calculate the value of chi square 3 less than 8. Quickly tell me the values from this tables book. What is the value of chi square 3 less than 8? Tell me. I have already opened the tables book for you. This is for new 1, this is for new 2, this is for new 3, and you have to calculate chi square x is less than x, chi square 8 is less, chi square 3 is less than 8. Quickly find out the table book value. Yes, 0.9540 it is, okay. We will take this value. This is my new 3 and I have to check at 8. So, at 8 it is 9540, okay. So is it clear how to calculate the values from tables book? Now why do I need to calculate the tables book when I am specifically saying that I do not need to be asked that find out this value, okay. So when I calculated my x follows gamma alpha comma lambda, now I am telling the relationship between gamma distribution and chi distribution, okay. So relationship between gamma and chi square. Note down the heading. So if my x is following gamma alpha comma lambda, okay, so my 2 lambda x will basically follow chi square 2 lambda. Note down this thing, then I will explain how this is going to be used, okay. My 2 lambda x will follow chi square 2 alpha. Note it down. Now, for example, you are asked calculate probability x is greater than 6.5. Okay. Now, it is very difficult to calculate this probability using integration. I have to do every integration by parts. Clear? So, it is time taking. What I will do is I will try to formulate this left hand side in this format. If my x is following gamma, for example, let us say, just a second, let me take the gamma values. Yes, let us take the previous question only, 2 comma 1.5. If my x is following 1.5, let me multiply 2 lambda x. So my 2 lambda x will basically follow chi square 2 alpha. So my lambda is 1.5 and my alpha is 2. It means my 3x will follow chi square 4. Clear? So if I need to calculate now the value of what was I was required to calculate, x is greater than 4 I was asked to calculate in the previous question, okay. So I can simply multiply 3 in the both sides. My 3x is now following chi square distribution, so I can write this chi square 4 should be greater than 12. Now can use this value to calculate from the tables book. Is it clear how did we get this? Clear, student? Can I calculate this value from tables book? Is it clear? This is an important concept. Please tell me if this is clear. Otherwise, I can repeat again. This is something you need to memorize, and you can derive the distribution, and then you can make this value, this x random variable as your distribution. Look, my x was given out to be gamma 2.15, 2 comma 1.5, right. So I need to formulate this in the chi-square distribution. So chi-square distribution's condition is 2 lambda x would follow my chi-square 2 alpha. So 2 remains 2, my lambda becomes 1.5. My x remains x. This should follow my chi-square 2 into 2, right. So 3x will follow chi-square 4. This is clear. Now I have been given to calculate x. So can I formulate this x into 3x? Simple. Multiply 3 on the both ends. So I get this 3x is greater than 4, 3, 12. Now this 3x is a random variable which is following my chi-square distribution 4, right. So I can write this as chi-square 4. Now I can use the tables book to calculate this value. Right? Okay. Understood till here? You understand this point? Is this clear? How did we get this value beta? Okay. Now look, the question was to calculate x is greater than 4. Right? And I said my x is following gamma 2 comma 1.5 and I have derived my 3x is following chi-square 4. Okay. So tell me, the question is easy to solve through gamma distribution or is it easy to solve through chi-square distribution? Of course chi-square distribution, because we have been given the tables book values. Clear? Clear? So can I make this random variable x into my random variable which is following chi-square 4, and the random variable following chi-square 4 is 3x. So I can multiply 3 on the both sides of my inequality, and since my 3x is following chi-square 4, I can replace this as chi-square 4. Okay now. So your homework is now, you have to calculate this value at home using this x is following same distribution. Okay, you have to calculate this value, you have to calculate this value. Okay, here you have to use linear interpolation because we have been provided the value at 6, we have been provided the value of 11, not 0.5. So if we are not given the values at 0.5, you can use interpolation. Okay, but first you need to convert this into chi-square distribution. These x follows my gamma distribution. So your homework is, question hai, if x follows my gamma 2 comma 1.5, find probability x is greater than 6.5 and find probability x is less than 11.5. Clear? So if this is clear, let's wrap up this class for today. In the next class, I will be asking you this question and we would be moving with the most important distribution, which is a normal distribution. Okay? So let's wrap up this class for today. Till then, please practice integration. This chapter really requires your integration and revise the previous one. What was the final answer? So basically the final answer was 0.0174. 0.0174 for probability x is greater than 4. Okay. So let's wrap up this class for today. Have a nice day, guys.